The left end of Minnesota. And the referee this afternoon will be Jay Berwanger. The umpire is Dal Marvel. Field judge will be Bernie Darling. And the head linesman will be Ed Barrows. The referee has called Captain Wilson in, talking to him. Jack Leininger walks in as well. We're going to be detained for just a moment. The referee is still holding that ball. Ohio State will be working against the wind during the first quarter. However, they won the toss and wanting to control that ball as much as possible throughout the afternoon. The Buckeyes of Ohio State have elected to receive in spite of the fact that the wind will be to their disadvantage. Down on the field there we see the gold and maroon of Minnesota. They're wearing white jerseys, maroon letters, gold headgear, gold pants. On the Buckeyes of Ohio State, they're wearing their white helmets striped with scarlet. Scarlet jerseys, big white numeral, and gray pants with scarlet trimming. The only boy that's wearing full-length stockings down there on the Ohio State team is Captain Jack Wilson. The rest of the boys are wearing those cuties, the anklets. Well, Jay Weldy is going to spot for the Minnesota team. He'll be assisted by Ernie Marver this afternoon. All right, everything is ready just now. The referee has run off the field. Ohio State is set, and with electricity in the air, we're ready for that opening kickoff. It'll be Soltau kicking, and it'll be by the little left halfback. Referee's hand is in the air. Everything is tense. There's the referee's whistle, and the game is on. The game is on, ladies and gentlemen. Running up to the ball. There it is. The kick. The ball is in the air, and it comes to the Ohio State 15-yard line, and it's taken by Perini. He's up to the 20, gets a good block at the 25, beyond the 25 to the 30. He's hit and knocked down at the 30-yard line. He was caught on there by Zupit and by Mundinger, and it's Ohio State's ball, 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line. Exactly on the 30. In the Ohio backfield, Morrison back in at full, Hamilton at right half. Ball is midway between the sideline markers. Up over the ball comes Jack Leininger. They go into that T formation. It's a natural T, and Savick is in tight. They run the play from a T, and there's a handoff on the first play to Morrison, and Morrison loses about 2 or 3 yards. Coming around Ohio State's left end, he was caught over there to play diagonals very beautifully by Hudak and by Mundinger and by the big fullback, linebacker up, Screen. Jerry Kroll was hurt on that last play. The referee is setting that ball on the Ohio State 28-yard line. Make it 2nd down and 12. A loss of 2 yards on Ohio State's first offensive play. Well, there's timeout and injury down on the field, and so for the late tuners in, we remind you again that there's a capacity crowd of over 80,000 assembled here for this terrific ball game between these two Western Conference Titans. The Gophers of Minnesota, the Buckeyes of Ohio State. You know, it was rather interesting when some of the boys were telling me about the score. Harry Nessenthaler said that Minnesota would win the ball game by 10 points. And Dave Salzman, well, he's the sticker for Ohio State. Dave Salzman over there, prospect in second. Dave said Ohio State would win this ball game and by a pretty fair score. Dr. C.J. Sterling thinks Ohio State will win by a touchdown. All right, it's Clark replacing Kroll at left halfback. Out of the huddle they come. It's a quick kick, and getting away very beautifully. It's a quick kick that goes on the midfield, down to the Minnesota 35, bounds in favor of Minnesota, and the ball is down on the Minnesota 39-yard line. There was a quick kick that took the Gophers by surprise. Coming out of the field now is that offensive backfield that we gave you. Thiel at quarterback, Screen at full, By and Warner at the halves. Minnesota's ball, 1st and 10 on their own 39-yard line. The game just getting underway. Out of the huddle they come. Big Tonemaker is up over that ball. Single wing, they shift to the left. In the tailback is the fullback. And the ball goes back to the fullback. And he threw Ohio State right tackle. And he picks up about 3 or 4 yards before he's knocked down by Sturts, who came up out of the secondary of Ohio State. Referee places that ball on the 43-yard line. Make it a 2nd down and about 6 yards to go. Minnesota's ball on their own 43. Midway between the sideline markers. Out of the huddle come the Gophers again. Over the ball is Tonemaker. Ohio State is using a 6-man line. 6-2 and a 3. And that's a direct pass from center. The ball goes back to By. By running right around Ohio State left end, but he's knocked out of bounds on about the 43 or 44. Covering that play for the Buckeyes, Pete Perini and Newell. Newell playing defensive left half for Ohio State. Backing up that line is Pete Perini. Referee sets the ball on the 39-yard line. Third correction on the 43-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Make it 3rd down and 6. Single wing, Minnesota shifts strong to the left of the tailback spot. Is By runs back. He was going to throw a pass, but now he's running the ball. He's down at the 45, down to midfield in Ohio territory at the 45, and he's out of bounds on the far side of the field. Run out of bounds there by defensive right halfback Widows on the Buckeye 45. A first down for Minnesota. There's an injury on the field for Ohio State. Looks like Leininger. Leininger is shaking his right leg. Leininger's coming out of the ball game, and McCullough will replace him at center for the Buckeyes of Ohio State. That is the second injury in the first 3 plays for Ohio State. Well, there'll be a lot of celebrities here throughout the afternoon. I know that Miss Ohio is here, Miss Minnesota is here, and also Miss America. And the greatest comedian in radio or stage or screen today, our own Bob Hope. I haven't seen Bob yet. I hope if he's here that we'll be able to present Bob to you on our microphone before the afternoon is over. Ready to go, Minnesota's ball. First down on the Buckeye 45. Single wing, they shift to the right. In the tailback spot is By. By comes through Ohio State's left side, and he gets up over Ohio's 40, and they're tugging away there on the Ohio State 38-yard line, where the tackle is made by McCullough and by Newell. Referee places that ball on the Ohio State 38-yard line. Make a second down and about 4. Single wing, they shift to the right, and the close back takes the ball. Screen. I don't believe he makes any more than about a yard. He's caught in there by O'Hanlon, by Tonup, and McCullough. Referee is placing the ball on the Ohio State 37-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 2.5. The ball is midway between the sideline markers. No score as yet. Ohio State employing a 6-man line, 6-2-3. Minnesota shifts strong to the left. Tailback is By. Taking a lot of time. The referee's watching them. Ball goes back to By. He goes into the center of the line, and he bounds over the Ohio State 35. And I believe he makes the first down on about the Buckeye 32-yard line. He's knocked there by Watson and by Perini. Ball is on the Ohio State 32-yard line. Minnesota's ball. Second first down in this quarter. No score as yet. Gopher snap out of that huddle. Single wing, they shift to the left. The tailback spot is By again. There's a flag on the play and a fumble. And a recovery by Ohio State. Looks like Pete Perini's on it, but there's 2 flags on the play, so we'll have to wait a moment. The Ohio State offensive team has run out there. Wesley Fessler's there. It's Ohio's ball. Ohio's ball. So the penalty was against Minnesota. Backfield in motion. And it was a fumble on the play, so Ohio State recovered. Pete Perini recovered, and it's Ohio State's ball, 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line. Well, there's the first break of the afternoon, and it goes in favor of the Buckeyes of Ohio State. This is exactly where Ohio State placed the opening kickoff, on the 30. All right, Ohio State out of the huddle, and there's Perini, Morrison, Clark, and Hamilton. A quick opening play, and the ball goes to Morrison. Morrison is through a big hole open on the right side of the line, and he goes up to about the 37-yard line before he's knocked down there by Screens, Big Mundinger, and Namalini. You know, I could just say he's knocked down and forget about Namalini because the guy weighs 260 pounds, and he's about 4.5 feet wide, so naturally he's on pretty near every play. Take a second down and 3 for Ohio State. The quick opening play, a fumble recovered by Ohio on the 32. There was a fumble. Looked like a fumble in there by Jimmy Clark, and Savick fell on the ball back on the 32-yard line. That's where it is, loss of 5 yards. Make it 3rd down and 8 for the Bucks on their own 32. At Minnesota line is Grant. Markert replaced Namalini, Hendrickson, Tolan, Ohio State out of the huddle. There's a tight T formation. Savick in close. Savick takes that ball. He's fading back. He's going to throw. Got a lot of time. It's out in the flat. And it is good. Good and then dropped. No good. Oh, Jimmy Clark had that ball. And as he was flying over the boundary line, he dropped it. And the referee very quickly called it incomplete. And the crowd lets up a roar for Jimmy Clark. He had that ball all wrapped up on the Ohio State 42-yard line. Back we go to the 32. We move into the fourth down, and it's 8. No score, first quarter. Punt formation, Ohio State. Morrison standing back on the Buckeye 22. There's the pass, and there's the kick. He's kicking into the wind. And the ball is taken down there by... knocked down immediately on the 40-yard line. Was taken by Thompson. And he was immediately knocked down in there on the tackle for Ohio State. Very beautifully was O'Hanlon and Watson. Referee is placing that ball on the Minnesota 43, where it's 1st and 10. Minnesota's ball, first down on their own 43-yard line. The single wing, they shift to the right. Tailback on the play is by. The ball goes to the fullback, and he's into the forward wall. He's up over the 45, and he's dropped on about the 47-yard line. Big Bill Jennings, Ohio's left tackle, wrapped him up on the Minnesota 47. Gain of 4 yards, make it 2nd down and 6 for Minnesota on their own 47. First quarter, no score. 9 minutes and 50 seconds of playing time remaining. As that single wing strong right this time on ballast line to the left, and the ball goes to the fullback, Kuzma. Kuzma takes that ball and bumps into Ohio State's right side, but he ain't going nowhere. No hole opened over there. No, sir. Sturts and Perini filled that hole very quickly. That was a handkerchief on the play. Ohio's captain is being called in. There's a discussion there with the Ohio captain. The flag was dropped on the Minnesota 47-yard line. Ohio State's going to accept it. Oh, it's a long one. 5, 10, 15. Ball goes back to the 32-yard line. Holding Minnesota. Minnesota. Now this guy with the loudspeaker says illegal use of the hands and the arms, but that's holding. 2nd down, 21 yards to go for Minnesota. Single wing, they shift to the right. Ohio State closing in on the defense, the 6-man line. And it is by with the ball. He fades way back. Now he throws one down the alley, and it is no good. Potential receiver on that play was Warner. But Warner was lying on the ground. Pryor was hurt on that play, was hit pretty hard. Tried to run Ohio State's left end. He was boxed up and threw that forward pass from his own 25-yard line. And he was hit pretty hard there by Rocky Rivers' Jimmy Haig. He didn't get up right away, but now he's up and running back onto the field. 3rd down, 21 for the Gophers. Ball is on their own 32-yard line. First quarter of the ball game, no score. You're listening to WTAM and a lot of other stations around Ohio. Right single wing, they shift to the right. There's a fumble on the play, a fumble! And Minnesota recovers. Minnesota, I believe. We're waiting. Everybody is jumping up now. We're waiting. That referee's at the bottom of the pile, but it's Minnesota's ball on the 25. Looks like Pryor recovered. It's on the 25-yard line. Well, it'll be 4th down. 4th down on about 28 yards. Getting ready to kick. Punting will be by, standing back in his own 50. He's rushed, almost blocked, but he gets it away. The wind is back of him, and the ball goes to the Ohio 20. And tucked in there by Sturts. The ball goes out of bounds on the far side of the field. A tough break. Sturts tried to grab the ball on the 20. It was over his head. He lost it, and the ball went out of bounds on the Ohio State 7-yard line. The Ohio State offensive team running out of the field now. Here comes Jerry Call back at left half. Savick at quarter. Morrison at full. Hamilton. O'Hanlon comes back in at left tackle. The defensive 11 comes on for Minnesota. Grant, Nomalini, Hendrickson, Pronemaker, London, Mundinger, and Edling. Out of the huddle come the Buckeyes. First down on their own 7-yard line. There's a split T formation. That's a power drive with fullback Morrison taking a handoff from Savick. And he advances that ball up to about the 9-yard line, where he's knocked down in there by big Nomalini. Ball is on the 9-yard line. Second down, 8 yards to go, midway between the sideline markers. No score in this ball game between Ohio State and Minnesota. Out of the huddle they come, Minnesota using a 5-man line. There's a direct pass to Kroll. Kroll tried to come around the left side, but he was knocked down in there by Edling, the right end, who broke through Ohio's left side, and he dropped Kroll back on the 7-yard line. Make it third down and 10. On the 6 to the low of that. Ball is on the 7-yard Ohio State line. Third down and 10. It's punt formation. Standing in the end zone is Morrison. He's kicking into the wind. Hands are outstretched. There's a flag on the play. Looks like Minnesota was offside, but there goes the kick. The kick goes to the 45-yard line, and it's taken there by Thompson. And Thompson is knocked down on the 40. There's a flag on the play. Looks to me like Minnesota's left tackle was offside. His left tackle was offside. His left tackle was offside. His left tackle was offside.